Hey everybody, it's Bill Cassidy again here, and it's an absolutely fantastic day to make a WordPress site about WordPress. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. And I wanted to make this site here because I think it would be so useful to a lot of people. If you're a newbie in internet marketing, this site hopefully will have a lot of good content for you, very helpful. If you're a small business owner, offliner, I think there'll be a lot of really good information on here for you. Now, WordPress is an absolutely fantastic platform for building websites, and there's probably only a few things that I could think of that you actually wouldn't want to use WordPress for. It's easy, simple, flexible. Anybody can do it. It's very good for SEO and rankings. But it does have a downside, and the downside is it's very easy to get caught up with plugins and all this other stuff, themes, deciding on what you want on there, and then making them all work together. And I think as marketers often, well, I know this, a lot of the marketing gurus out there, what they do is they want to make money, so they sell a product that does something. But the product will get you more traffic, or it will do this or that, but it's not always compatible with everything else in there. Sometimes it slows down your site, which is certainly not good for your rankings, especially from Google. Um, and sometimes they just don't, all these plugins and themes just don't all work together. Now, when I first started, and actually this is what led me into internet marketing, I actually had a computer services business, and after the crash in 2008, computers were like a couple $100, so people really didn't want to pay me $100 an hour to come fix their computer when they could just buy a new one. So I decided it would be a good idea to improve my HTML skills. And I was using Dreamweaver initially. And when I first started, I'm thinking, oh my God, there's got to be a better way. And I did a whole bunch of searching around and everything, and I just wasn't really getting anywhere. And I thought, okay, yeah, I'm learning HTML, I'm getting better at it. Dreamweaver was probably the premier platform to use, or software to use at that point. But it was very time consuming, and there was a learning curve. I'm usually pretty good with that stuff. I jump on computers all the time and teach people how to use programs I've never used, but it was difficult, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's going to take forever to get one website done, let alone I wasn't even thinking about multiple ones at that point. I was just thinking about improving my skills. But my initial thought was, there's got to be a better way. Now, I did find, I went through a couple other programs after that. I bought one from a guy in Ireland, can't remember what the name is, but it was, for building AdSense sites, and I had no idea about keyword research or any of that stuff at that point. And the program did work, I guess, but the sites weren't really that great, so I'm like, all right, I didn't want to go through another learning curve of learning another program, but I said, you know what, this is just not working, I got to do something else. So I switched to Excite. I'd heard some good things about that, and I knew people were building websites with that at that point. And again, easy, regular, compared to Dreamweaver, it was relatively easy to use, but there still was a learning curve, and I was like, ah. And I think it was I bought a George Brown program, or I watched a George Brown video. I know it was George Brown. And he recommended WordPress, and that was the first time I had ever really heard of WordPress. So I started looking into that, and I had found, and I thought, oh my God, this is great. Yeah, a little learning curve on this, but very easy, very very simple to use. You could figure stuff out. It was very intuitive. And that was the start. Now, WordPress is probably, since I discovered WordPress, I've probably saved a lot of time building sites by not using Dreamweaver, and I've been able to build much better looking sites with a lot more flexibility than using any other program. But like I said, I did have a lot of difficulty with getting plugins that worked and those type of things. So that's why I wanted to, build this website here. So what I'm going to do on this website is I'm going to put on a series of videos and hopefully brief videos so that so that everybody can learn more specifically what you actually want to learn or need to learn. I'm going to discuss free plugins, free themes, and also premium plugins and themes. And speaking of marketers, I've discovered that a lot of programs and software or plugins that marketers offer, for sometimes if you buy them on Warrior Forum for $7, or maybe you bought it for $17 or $27, there is quite often a free version that does the same thing. So I'm certainly going to highlight those type of things because some of my favorite plugins are actually free or low cost. Now I do have some premium ones that I do enjoy and I do use on a regular basis, and I will point all those out, and you can make your decisions on what you like. But there's certainly a whole lot that you can do with a lot of free plugins. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about here. So that's really going to be the end of this video here. And in my next video, I am going to build a website basically from ground up. And then after that, once I get that done, then we'll start to talk more about the specific plugins and themes that I use. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email, and I'll get them on there also. So anyhow, thanks for your time, and look for the next one. Thanks. Bye.